to the mic.
Hi.
Welcome to Happy Hour with
Ruth.
and Roxy.
I thought you were going to wait for me to say Roxy. I was like, what? What? Anyway, we have dogs, as you can see.
Yeah, and Neo currently looks like, hey, boundaries. Can't see him.
Yes.
Really. But he's had a
He's
bath.
had a bath. I can see he smells very
bath
pretty.
and a blow dry,
Yep.
but not a haircut. So he looks like, what did I say? Something beamed up from Fraggle Rock.
No, he looks like
He looks terrible.
He looks
right
like
now.
a surfer dude.
But on the other hand, Luna, who's not here with us today because she's inside waiting for Daddy, looks fantastic. So,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
1 for 2 right now, I guess.
1 for 2. Hey, it's 50%, man.
He'll look
There you
good
go.
tomorrow. By tomorrow, he'll look fine.
Okay, by the time... Oh, there's a car that goes... A truck that
Yeah.
goes by with the dog that barks in it.
Hey, what?
By the time you see this, it will be over, but Mercury's in retrograde.
See? There you go.
And
Okay.
Oh, you almost got that under your chin, man. You
Sure
almost
did.
took it right on the chin.
Yeah, sure
Oh,
did.
now the dogs are playing because, of course, we're taping.
Oh, I'll
Yeah.
edit most of this out probably.
No.
Or not.
No. This is us being real.
This is us.
Oh, so,
I know.
you're not getting up,
You want to
Chalupa.
have some special loving with him,
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Gets
Okay,
all
so I'm
excited.
going to show you my tattoo first that you
So
saw
last
week.
time you
I
saw
was
it
in a
all
bandage.
wrapped up, and now you get to see it in full. Okay, go closer because this is amazing.
It's
is
beautiful.
so beautiful.
It is very
It's
beautiful.
still peeling a little bit.
It's
and I just
still,
want to.
and she does get away from me.
Peel it.
I'm not every time I can see her. I can see it in her eyes coming at me. But we do want to acknowledge Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, or as
'Cause
we call it,
fuck it.
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah,
Because holy cow, I only noticed today. Well, I think you mentioned it first, and then I saw it. I have a calendar, like a daily planner
Yeah.
that.
You gave me one of those too.
Yes, I did. Well, see, you're out of date now, but
I think you gave me
but-
a new one.
did I?
You
Oh
keep
yeah, because
ordering
I did.
two.
Because I ordered 2 accidentally. I always think, I forgot to get one this year. I'll get it. Oh no, I do have
That
one.
means I
Never
get a
mind.
present.
But it describes everything that's happening because we know exactly
Yep.
where all the planets are going to be
Yep.
at any given time. And I'm usually prepared, and I was so not prepared for this one. And when I realized that we're 3 days away from the end of, and Mercury retrograde is usually a 3-week period.
Yeah.
Where communication is affected, technology is affected, things that are
Everything.
supposed to be moving forward appear to be moving backward.
Yep.
That's the gist of it, basically. And wow,
And
has
honestly,
that ever been the case?
That's been my life for the last 3 weeks.
It's been
Yep.
things that are supposed to be moving forward. Selling a house,
Yep.
selling a house, buying a house,
Yep.
having the people that offered on our house sell their house so that we
Yeah,
can
it's
move
all
forward.
been like it
Nothing.
just feels like,
Been
and it
nothing.
hasn't been door slams, but it's
No.
just been kind of like, hey, that door was supposed to be open. Chalupa and Neo are playing, and
They're
it's
having
very funny.
having a little thing
Yes,
going
yeah.
on there.
They love each other for some random reason.
And so last night when I realized that the text message I'd sent to my daughter never went through.
Oh, you stay
Oh
with
my
me.
goodness, look at Chalupa running.
And Chalupa's old.
Oh, he doesn't run like that very often.
No.
But they hadn't gone through. And I had been waiting for an answer from
No,
her.
you're staying here.
And my husband comes in and I had CC'd him on it. And he says, well, why haven't you answered Stephanie? And I said, well, because she hasn't answered me. What are you talking about? No. She's given you like 4 messages and you haven't responded to it. 2 days ago she answered you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? There's nothing on my phone. And so Ruth said, when I was telling her about it today, she's like, just turn your phone off and on and see what happens.
There's a glitch.
Because we did a whole, looking into my settings and all the things. No, there's nothing wrong going on there. Turned it off and on. There are the messages. They're back.
My rule is unless they work in IT, they don't get to try to reset your phone.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
boys are going to go, here, we'll just
Yeah.
factory reset it.
No. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I saw that on the show that we're watching yesterday. Somebody did that.
Yep.
And it just made me like, no.
Yep.
Ooh,
Nope,
everything's
it's terrible.
gone then.
But
Yeah.
it has been like...
But that's classic Mercury
It
retrograde.
is, and it feels like when you're in a canoe and you think you're both paddling the right way. One of them's paddling the wrong way, and
Yep.
they're the stronger one. Like
Yeah,
that's what it feels like,
exactly.
right? You think you're moving forward, and honest to God, like the last few weeks have just been like, and nothing tragic or awful.
No.
But just like it feels like you're running in place, and meanwhile you're looking at different
You're
scenery.
just doing all the things.
Yeah.
You're running as fast
And
as
nothing
you
is
can,
landing.
and you're going backwards.
Yeah.
Nothing's landing, and you're right. It's not. Oh, nice. We're drinking the bubbles, and you
Scruffy
belch.
had something to say there. Hey, buddy. Oh, my buddy.
But yeah, so if you've been feeling that too, let us know what things you've seen
Yes.
that Mercury retrograde has
Yep.
affected in your life.
Yep.
I'd be very interested to hear if other people have been
Yep.
hearing that too. And I mean, for us, we've gone to look at houses that on the listings, in the photographs and the description, they sound like they might be fine.
Yep.
And then we get out there and it's like, I don't know what that smell is, but I got to get out of here.
Yep.
Like, or, oh, look at that. There's rats in a dumpster next door to this
Yep.
house. Didn't see that in the video.
Yep.
Like, just
Like
how-
shockingly bad.
shockingly
right?
bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You came with me to see one.
And that was okay.
Yeah, until we got to the basement.
Yeah, the basement
there's-
was weird.
There's somebody,
Yeah, the basement was
something
weird.
bad down there.
We went in one time a long time ago when we lived on the Sunshine Coast, and we went to a garage sale. And I would never do this, and I wouldn't have done it if I was by myself. It was me and Paul, and the garage sale was in the basement, and you had to go
No.
downstairs to the
No.
basement.
Oh,
And it
no.
was like there are people standing there staring at you, so you kind of went, and it was like they're going to kill us.
Oh, I just had visions of,
Yeah, dismembered bodies, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse.
No, but that's exactly it.
Wow.
So anyway, Mercury Retrograde. Tell
Yeah.
us if you're feeling it, because holy doodle, man.
Holy doodle.
Holy doodle. Also, I need to watch out because this top goes a little low, and I might have, a wardrobe malfunction. A bit
I
too
don't
much
know.
cleavage, man.
Yeah, I don't know. You're so careful about your cleavage, and I say, like, if you got it, flaunt it, man, because that's never a problem
Yeah,
for me.
not at my age. Kind of, those old grandma things. She used to be like, how low did they hang? And now it's like, damn, I need a new bra.
I heard a description once. My sister-in-law said it was like what'd she say? A tennis ball in a sock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, that's very
Yep.
visual and
Yep.
also, yeah,
But
sounds about right.
we're gonna lead into a bunch of other stuff. But I've been working on getting healthier. But one of the things I thought about the other day, because I've always sort of, had the girls have been big since I was about 13, right?
You are well endowed.
I am well.
You
Yes,
are
yes. So-
generously endowed.
Anyway, so I thought the other day when I was weighing myself, it's like I should weigh my boobs and see because the weight is different if you have bigger boobs, right? Like it's not actually weight on your hips or your belly or your
Right.
thighs.
Yes.
It's and I thought I should weigh that and take that into consideration when I'm
Yeah.
considering what's good. Except then it would be like maybe I have a mammogram next week. I'll see if they can weigh them.
Wow, I'm very interested in what they'll say about that.
They'll probably be like, "Lady, you're crazy. Go away."
They might.
Well, I might just hoof it out on my kitchen scale and see what happens. But it's like so one of the things I've been working on, and we're going to do a whole episode about.
I got to tell you a little
Okay,
bit about
okay.
weighing things. So I had this is going back it was the year that I turned 40. I had a benign mass on my ovary that had to be removed. They ended up taking the whole ovary, but it was grapefruit. Well,
Oh my
was-
God.
it was huge. It was huge, and
Wow.
it had started. The reason I noticed it was it had started to twist on its axis, and when it did, I was in excruciating pain.
But you couldn't it was in there. Did you have a lump you could see?
No, there was nothing you
Oh,
could see.
wow.
There's nothing you could
It's
see. It
amazing how
didn't-
your body would expand for that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
But finally, and you know how it is, you go to the doctor and you're like, yeah, I got this weird pain in my abdomen. And usually, in my experience, they say, yeah, there's nothing there, you're fine. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It's weird. And then I got a call back saying, yeah, we need to see you. This is probably surgical. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Anyway, so they took it out on my birthday, as it turned. No, it was scheduled for my birthday.
Oh, God.
And I said, that just seems like a bad idea. Can you bump it up? Also, I didn't like the surgeon. So they did it on Halloween. Don't know that was better.
I'm not sure it's better
And
at
then
all.
and the surgeon, because
Sorry, buddy.
I'm me and like gross things, as you know so well, I wanted to see it afterwards. So the surgeon plopped it in a plastic container and took a picture of it and then sent that to me afterwards. And the thing was big. And I thought afterwards, oh, that's got to be at least worth a pound or two, No.
What was it?
I don't know what the thing weighed, but I gained 5 pounds over the whole thing. Just because surgery and then you're lying around and then
but it's
fluid
also
and
it's
all the
it's,
things.
it's inflammation. And
Exactly.
It's like every time we come back from a trip, it's like, okay, maybe I gained weight on that trip, but some of this is airline weight, and it goes away because you're up. You get bloaty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you have a baby. In my case, I gained 30 pounds with each kid. 30 up, 30 down. But the 30 down, so my babies were 6 or 7 pounds each. And you come out and you're like, oh, okay, I just had a 6-pound baby, but I'm not pregnant anymore. So that 30 pounds must be gone, right? Because there's a lot of, not the whole 30, but
No.
there's a lot of fluid and stuff
Yep.
going in there. No, you're like, yeah. 10 pounds down maybe immediately afterwards. It is not fair.
No.
It is not right.
No.
So you could take them both off. It would not matter enough.
But it's also interesting how invested in our weight we are, right?
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
one of the things and we're going to talk about is because I've recently lost a bit of weight and I've still got some more to go. But like we're going to get deeper.
Do you not want to cop to the amount?
Sure, I've lost 30 pounds.
30
but
pounds.
it's only started showing up noticeable like in my and I tend to wear, I say baggy, she says loose and flowing. She's got a much nicer.
I will say you dress extremely well. So, and because you've been sort of like, oh, how come people haven't noticed I've lost weight? Well, I noticed because I noticed you were wearing different clothes.
Right.
But you wear really good clothes. And so I'll just say, I just groomed Luna, our poodle, who is 5. And she's a poodle, miniature poodle, had typical miniature poodle body, but she's kind of thickened in her belly a little bit because she's kind of middle-aged now, right?
Right.
So I groomed her differently. I groomed her to be tighter in the belly part and then more hair in the chest part so that it kind of accentuates the look that she would normally have, right? That's what you've been doing in your clothing the whole time. It's so you've always looked good. And now you're like, but why aren't people noticing? Why aren't people noticing? Because now you're wearing different clothes.
Right. No, that's a fair point, but it is, I have been, and not obsessed enough, but I weigh myself every day, and we'll get way more into this in the next podcast and stuff. But it is how we measure it, and the fact is, when you're exercising, working out, moving, right, your weight changes. It changes differently because you're building muscle as well as losing, and it's really interesting. So I had a non-scale victory that I'm pretty happy about yesterday when I went in to have lunch with my great nephew. Although that
Wait a
makes me
second.
feel,
What did you call it? A non-scale.
a non-scale victory.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, right. And so I went in and I went because I need jeans because right now none of the jeans I have are fitting.
30 pounds will do that.
Right, yeah. And so, but I went in and I wanted a pair of boyfriend jeans and I wanted to look at barrel jeans, which I have on. And it is the fit of the jean that does it because my barrel jeans are not this. But I tried on the boyfriend jeans and I took a 10, which I thought was pretty good because when we came back from Europe, I just started gaining weight and I had gained like 35 pounds in 6 months. And I kept going to the doctor and they're like, we don't, like, there's nothing medically wrong with you, but we don't know. Right.
Yeah.
And working out and eating better.
And you work out like a freaking fiend.
Well, I try 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. 4 or 5 times a week. And you work out hard. I haven't done Supernatural for quite a few weeks, but when we're doing it together, it's always like, oh, I just got to stay even with Ruth. There's no chance of beating you, but if I could stay even, that would be just great.
And I like it.
So I just gave up.
It's therapy, right, for me, because the coaches are really positive. You get to bash things. But it's like you are changing your body shape by working out. But before I wasn't like, I was just staving off more weight gain. I wasn't losing anything. Right. But then, I started to lose and it was working better. And yesterday I went in, I got a pair of boyfriend jeans. And so I was bumping into a size 14, which for me, I'm only 5'5". That's a absolutely normal size.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the top end of the size I should be.
Yeah.
And that's just for health and everything because my blood pressure, my cholesterol, like it was all crap. So I grabbed a 10 thinking, well, 30 pounds, maybe a 10. And then it was like hopeful. I grabbed an 8, right? And I get in there and I'm like, I'm going to try the 8 on first. And I tried the 8 on and it was too big. Ooh. I got a 6. Now they're boyfriend jeans, so that's how they fit, right? I probably, but a 6 is a pretty good from almost a 14.
That's a win.
Right? So
so
I was pretty happy. And honestly, I said I'm just going to leave the tag that's on them that says size 6, right? But I think we're going to talk more about it because it's interesting how it affects your mental health, how it affects your body perception, right? And we all have the things, but we're going to go deeper into it. But what I think is really important is you have to go to the non-scale victories because sometimes the scale doesn't move, but your body is changing.
Yeah.
Right? But we will get into it. I've been talking so much, I haven't got there. What are we drinking, Roxanne?
We are drinking, this is going to shock everyone just to pieces. So I won't even bother showing you the label because I got a chiller sleeve on it. Stoneboat Bubbles.
You guys know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yep.
So good.
Okay. Okay, the other thing I have, because I might have gotten into a little bit of a bitch fight with a couple of Canadians online. Not really, though. I was on somebody said something in a group I was in, and it's a kind of like against Trump group, anti-Trump group. And it was an American that said, "Look, I hope you all know most Americans don't support him, and this is awful, and we don't want him in there." And I, of course, said, "Of course we know that, and we want you to have democracy and stuff too. We're worried about you, and we're doing what we can to help." And then some Canadians came in, and I understand their frustration, but they were like, "Well, you elected him, you live with it. These people didn't elect him." Right? And then somebody else said, "Look, he won in a landslide, so don't tell me most Americans don't want him." So I went back with some facts and said, actually, Kamala Harris only lost by 1.5%. There are definitely, they are not substantiated yet, but there are things out there where people are saying it looks dodgy in some of the swing states. There's all this stuff there. And I said, so you can't blame every American for a small group. Now, the people that didn't vote, that's a whole other thing. Like there needs to be more of that. But I got into this like kind of fight with other Canadians when it's like, you can't judge everybody you can't paint everybody with the same brush. And somebody did come on, an American, and say, you know what, rather than get into this kind of thing, maybe what we should be telling them is what we're doing to fight back. And I think that's a good thing, and I'm going to use that. That was really smart. But I do want to say to our American friends, most of us do understand, and that black and white thinking is not all of us. Are they all in the corner? They're all having little battles.
Well, you got that one, so.
Yeah, it's good, and I'm not letting him go.
No.
But it really is, like, for American friends, we understand that you're fighting back. And it would be great, tell us what you're doing, because we're still doing stuff. I mean, I'm going in and correcting information. I'm pushing back where I can. I randomly phone Congress people's offices, and if somebody actually answers, and if they don't, I leave a thing about how the world is watching, and that they should really start thinking about this. And what about their mothers and their sisters? And how are they feeling about taking away these rights? Oh, and by the way, how would you feel if somebody in your family got deported accidentally to a terrible prison in El Salvador, and no due process for one, no due process for anybody, right? So we are doing things, but it would be good to hear, are you protesting? What are you doing? I mean, there's, I called all of the Texas senators who have fled their state because the Republicans in Texas are trying to push through. It's a gerrymandered change of districts, and they would do it so that how they break it up is they would get 5 more seats in the Senate. Okay,
I've been meaning to ask somebody, and you're the right person to ask. Can you explain what gerrymandering is?
Yes. So gerrymandering, it's supposed to be every 10 years. They look at the electoral map in every state, and they set out what the districts are. And please, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, because this is a very general sense of it. And you're supposed to do it every 10 years, and it's after the census, so that you understand who's living, like how many people are living where, and that kind of thing. And so, but what happens is they go in, and they don't do it based on the census. They do it based on census information of how people vote, and whether they're Caucasian or Hispanic or all this, because the census will tell you heritage and background, right?
Sure.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they do it so that they know they're going to get more votes that lean right? And they change it. They change it so they're going to win that district.
Oh,
right. So, and it's I don't know if it's technically illegal, but it is. It's they only do it when they know they can't win. So they're trying to do it now, and they already did it. So they gerrymandered their way into a few more Senate seats in the federal Senate seats, right? And they're trying to do it again. And they're trying to do it again there so that they would lose, so that the Republicans would gain 5 more seats. So what happened to the senators from Texas? They left Texas, so that means they don't have quorum. They can't vote on this because there's not enough people in the House there.
Okay.
And so now they're sticking the FBI on them. So yeah, which is first of all, it's not a crime to leave your state. It's not a crime to break quorum. It is not a crime. So they're doing all this because they know they're worried about the midterms. But so I called all the people that left the state of Texas, so they're not there and they can't have, because Republicans have the majority there, right? So what I did was I called them all and I thanked them for leaving their state, and I told them they could come and stay with me in Canada.
I just looked it up, just on Google.
Yeah.
Gerrymander is to manipulate the boundaries of an electoral constituency.
Yep.
So as to favor one party or class.
Yeah. So they moved the lines, right? It would be like saying Chilliwack's red. So if if liberals got in, Chilliwack leans conservative, so we're going to change it so that we move the lines enough so all of the people that we know are in a liberal leaning conclave can vote over in this district.
Wow.
Right? It's cheating. And they do it all the
cheating.
time because they can't win. But so
Wow.
that's the stuff you do is you send them little messages saying you're doing the right thing. The world is watching. By the way, I've got wine at my house if you want to cross the border. They're not going to cross the border because that would be. But anyway, it is. I do want to say to our American friends, we see you and we're supporting you. And when those people say that stuff, it's just because they're scared. And Trump has attacked our sovereignty. And I
Yeah.
completely get that. Hate him, love you.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. And so crazy.
Wow. But it's not surprising to me that there's Canadians who will be like, you did this.
Yeah.
You're dead to me.
Yeah.
However they're saying it, because it's easier to decide right and wrong and just say
Yeah.
black, white,
Yeah.
this is how it is,
And
than it is
and
to
have
understand
have an enemy.
and have
Right?
an enemy. Exactly. It's much more complicated to try and understand nuance, and two things
Yep.
can be true, right?
Right.
Or that there's
Yep.
two.
Yep, it's very
Oh,
funny.
poor
Oh,
Tulipa.
and now Scruffy the fighter's getting in. Oh, he is probably just getting too hot. But anyway,
Tulipa
but
loves Neo.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Neo's
they're funny.
like, I'm
Yeah.
a real boy now. I
Yeah.
don't need to take that.
But it is. But one of the things that made me think about is you have all this stuff, and it's getting every day is another crazy day. The world is more upside down every day. I mean, all of this stuff. It's like, I was thinking about, how do you stay sane in that? Now we have each other, plus we have Bubbles, plus we have you guys, but it's like, what are the things that you do, right, to remove yourself? I've started more and more watching Netflix because it takes me fully out of it, and I watched Nonnas, that movie with it's Vince Vaughn and Susan Sarandon, and it's like this guy gets a restaurant, and then he has all these Nonnas come and cook for him and stuff, and apparently it's on Staten Island. It's a real restaurant. So now I'm sad that for a while
Can't
we
go
won't
to
go
New
there.
York.
But
Yeah.
it's really
Oh,
lighthearted
I'm
and
interested
fun.
in
It's a
that.
good one. It's really good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched so Nonnas? Have you watched the one that I was telling you about called The Bear? The cooking.
No, I'm afraid it's stressy.
Oh, it's stressy.
I'm afraid to watch it. I would like to see
But-
the food though.
But I think you would find it's extremely distracting. Like, because you're immersed in
Yeah.
it. You are
I
absolutely
should at
invested in
least
the
try
cooking.
one episode. But
You should try, not just before bed maybe, but
no, hi
but
Chalupa.
I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. But no, like I love food
Yeah.
shows. I don't watch a lot of TV. My husband and I watch, series together. It's at
Right.
night what we do. But I don't watch TV during the day, or I can't watch TV the way you do
Right.
while I'm doing something else.
Background noise for me.
It's just, I don't know. I can either focus on TV or I can do
Right.
anything else. And,
Yep.
or even, I don't even have music on when I'm cooking or something. I can't. Like, it's like, what?
Focus.
I'm distracted. Now I can't. Huh?
But I have it on in the background, and to be fair, some of it's like serial killer stuff. I just watched one.
Love
It was
serial
called Apple Cider Vinegar, and it
Oh,
was
you
about a
told me
young
about that.
Australian woman who went into the health and wellness, and she said she had cancer, and she didn't have cancer, and a whole bunch of people followed her stuff.
this
People
real,
died.
or-
Yeah, it's real. Now
It's
this
real,
was a
okay.
dramatization.
Yeah, sure.
But it is real. And then it turned out I watched another one, so I saw it from kind of her side,
Mm-hmm.
right, in the dramatization and what she did and all of the stuff. And then they showed when they had a different one, of course, came up on Netflix because Big Brother's watching.
You like this?
And
but you
yeah.
also probably did. I mean, I do
probably
now.
did. I liked it.
click the
Yeah.
like or love
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I want to know.
Because they tell you that's just
Yeah.
it. But it came up from the journalist side who started to dig into it.
Oh.
And that was really fascinating because it was a guy whose wife had cancer and he was just online looking for things to help his wife. And he came across this healer. But as a journalist, and I pretty much grew up at Maclean's with some of the world's greatest journalists. A journalist questions everything. So he was like, this doesn't sound right. And so they dug in and it all came tumbling down. Apple put her on an app. She got a book deal with Penguin. It was a huge worldwide launch and
Whoa.
stuff. And then it came out that so clearly she had very serious mental health issues, right? But the other side of it, she got a lot of money, and then she told all these people she was going to help their children with cancer and stuff. She didn't give them the money,
Oh,
and
no.
and so she kept having to cover her tracks all the time,
Oh.
and it was like so so as much as you kind of hated her, you also really felt compassionate for her because she was a broken human, right?
Oh boy.
And there were so many people along the way. Penguin nobody ever fact checked her. She said she had stage 4 glioblastoma. Is that how you say it?
Glioblastoma.
And it's like you don't come back from that, right?
Ooh.
I had a friend who died from that. You might get a bit more time, but you don't come back from that. And that she cured herself with things like apple cider vinegar.
No.
But you know what? When you're sick, you want so much to believe, right?
Well, that's so interesting because she had a brain tumor. So,
but she didn't.
Okay, she didn't. She didn't actually have any tumor at all. Oh my God. Okay.
And every time she'd get close to caught, she'd come up with another cancer has come, kind of, right? And so it was really interesting. But you did there was sympathy for her because it was very clear. She was in way too deep. But she had been, a book author, and she had this loving community of hundreds of thousands, millions of people who loved her worldwide. And so it was just like, but the tragedy is she told people not to take conventional medicine, Western medicine, and they died.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you should see Chalupa running around here like he looks like the prince of something. But anyway, hiding away from the world, watching that is and watching serial killer movies, I gotta say, or like the true crime stuff, kind of makes you feel not so bad because my
it's not that.
I don't have a brother that's a serial killer.
That. Yeah, exactly. It was just
funny.
He's calling him out. He's just calling him. He's like, come on, let's play, let's do it. But I'm not going to let you do what you really want to do.
Yeah. Chalupa's a humper.
He's a lover. Yeah. He's a lover.
He's a humper. Anyway, tell us what you're watching, because the other thing we've been talking about is getting more interactive with our community, because you've been very quiet out there, and we need you to talk back.
It's summer.
It is summer.
And we know that.
Is it summer?
Is it
It
summer? It doesn't feel like it today.
Feels like the twilight of the summer.
It feels really nice today.
Yes,
it's a really
beautiful.
nice temperature. It's not super hot, but
Yep.
there's always at least one. So back when we were, had the clinic, we always knew there was 1 month between July and August, somewhere in there, 4 weeks,
Right.
3 to 4 weeks, where business would be absolutely dead. Nobody was coming in. Everybody was gone. People were on holidays. Their kids were at camp. Whatever it was, and that's what I've been trying to, remind myself of and remind you
with
of
all the stuff.
Because it's the same with real estate, right? So there's at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks.
And we've just come out of a long weekend.
We've just come out of a long weekend. Mercury fucking retrograde. And so things are gonna pick up now. But a lot of you guys have been gone too. Good try.
Nice try, buddy. You're gonna back up here.
Good try. So we know people have been busy, and that's great. If you're doing stuff that you love, you've been going to your cabin and whatever. That's great. But we miss you. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we do want to hear from you.
Oh my God, our dogs are just
and they're all crazy. They're all crazy.
They're all crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about what are the things that make you feel powerful when things are challenging, right? Like one of the things I was looking at looking on Instagram and seeing people, and some of it's applying a very bold lipstick for some,
Ooh.
right? And then there was the, what's your I am woman playlist. You know what I mean? Like, is there something are there songs that you play, right? And
what's your thing? What's your go-to?
Well, one of the things that I and I will miss it because we won't have a fireplace outside in the new place. We'll have a fire pit thing like but is I go with my coffee in the morning and I set intentions, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And I sit out there and I listen to the creek and I the birds are just waking up and all this stuff and I set some intentions. But I also, it's really interesting because I listen to Jimmy Buffett always, but specific Jimmy Buffett songs, Springsteen for certain, right? And there's a song by a fellow named Guy Clark, and we'll link to it, and it's called "Always Trust Your Cape."
Ooh,
right?
What does that
and it's
mean?
really, so it's like he in it he talks about being, I forget how old, like a kid, 8 years old, and putting on a cape and trying to leap off the roof, right? And but he is talking about you have to know what your cape is and always trust your cape, right?
Okay.
And that's a phrase that's like a mantra for me. It's like you got to trust your cape, we've come through, knock on wood, we've come through, all of the challenges and tough 100% of the time so far. So what would make us think we wouldn't with this?
Okay.
Right? What's yours? Do you have a song?
Mine? Oh, I don't have a song. I'm not a
Because she grew up in Flashdance. No. Footloose.
Footloose, yeah.
Flashdance would be a whole different thing.
That would, yeah, I wish. No, I don't turn to music the same way since I got rid of my CD collection, because I knew which songs that I loved.
Right.
And I could see them and look at them and find them. Anyway, I don't have that anymore, so I kind of lost the music.
Boomer here.
Boomer.
She got rid of her CD collection.
I know. I wish I would have kept them. But anyway, I have gotten out of. I'm not a yoga practitioner the way true yoga practitioners are, but I do a little bit every day normally.
Yep.
And I have gotten out of that. And when I am doing that every day, just grounding myself a little bit, getting back in touch with my body a bit, feeling the release of here's a thing that I can do, not well, but enough.
Yeah.
My body feels better, my brain feels better,
Right.
Everything feels
You're
better.
more grounded.
Yeah, I'm definitely more grounded. So I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping when we move, I find a yoga studio very close by that I can get back into that, because I'm definitely better when I'm doing that.
No, that makes sense. And I think that's kind of how I feel about Supernatural, because you get to, it's a workout and it's a good workout, but also the coaches are so, they talk to you about dealing with life. Like, it's not all, oh, life is good. It's like, hey, you know what? You made it in here today. You did something good. Yeah. It's like, no matter what life throws at you, you already succeeded
and they're
today.
Funny.
They are funny.
They're very entertaining.
And they're different funny. But also you get to bash things, which is really good for me.
Oh, hitting stuff is huge.
Yeah.
You're right. I probably have to re-up not my membership, but probably have to
update your the software,
something.
Right? Yeah, but it's really good. But the coaches are for me, it is a form of therapy. And then on the days when I remember, to be honest, they have meditations, right? And I really like.
Do you do those?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I have not ever done them, because I feel like, all right, I got to work out. This is going to take me this time. I got to get my heart rate up. Got to do this, okay, and move on to the next thing. I don't have time for meditation. I don't have time for medication. I got medication. I don't have time for meditation. It's bad.
It is, but it does, and they're only like 10 minutes or something. And usually they're in the places you go to, because Supernatural, it's a virtual reality, and you're in these beautiful places. And when you're working out, you don't get a chance to look all the time. So sometimes when you're just laying there and you're in this beautiful place, and mostly I like it because they've got Tanzania in there right now, right? And they've got New Zealand.
Okay.
I haven't seen them in meditations yet, but they're in the workouts, and those are some of my favorite places. So you get to sit there. Yeah.
There is an app on the Oculus device. Yeah. It's not related to Supernatural, but I think it's called Liminal. I want to say Liminal. I think that's right. And I have done that a few times.
Yeah.
And it is actually really cool, because you go in and you say, like, what's your mood, or what are you hoping? Like, are you anxious, or are you feeling this, and do you want to feel more this, or whatever? And so then you go in and it's visual, because you've got something to see. It's very, the auditory stuff is very soothing. It's almost hypnotic,
right?
Because they've
cool.
got things to see. Yeah, it's worth looking at. Yeah.
But you do the life-size Tetris.
I do. I love Tetris.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And the music in that Tetris,
funny.
It's very. Yeah, I haven't done that. Ooh, yeah. I can get stuck in the virtual world for quite some time doing Tetris.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It is, but everybody has those things you do to deal with, and it's not just the personal stuff like the stress of selling or buying homes or all that stuff, but it's like the bigger stuff in the world, and also, you hit a certain age, and I mean, it's parents or people dealing with illnesses and all that kind of stuff, or your friends are, there's all this kind of stuff, is finding the ways and finding the little pieces of joy in there, because joy is an act of rebellion.
Yeah,
right
is.
And it's one of those, you have to do that, because that's what the bad guys want to take away from you, right? And so it is, but it's a really interesting time, to be looking at the world and wondering, where will we be in 5 years, right? Or even at life, when you're of a certain age, you always have to, you no longer think where I'm going to be in 20 years. You think, your gaps get shorter.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Is that us again? Are we doing this every time? We were messing around with some of the not the filters, what are they called? The effects. And so every once in a while we're always like, oh my God, there's a ghost in the machine. You don't wear lipstick, but I have several friends that wear very red lipstick.
Oh, I used to wear lipstick.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're almost always Kiwis.
Did you know that I used to be a Mary Kay cosmetic?
I think I did know that.
Yeah, I did. So there was a brief time where I got really into lipstick and nail polish, and I mean, I had babies at the time, and when I think about it now, like long nails and babies, really bad idea. But it was sort of, I was trying to find something that would connect me to the adult
to the world.
And and I thought I could be a salesperson for cosmetics, and as it turned out that I could not be, because I am terrible I cannot sell people things that I don't believe that they need.
Right.
I also cannot, the thing about that got me was the whole sales pitch about, finding quality leads and finding quality people. And as soon as I realized that we're supposed to decide which people in our lives are quality and which people are not, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I cannot do that.
It's a little bit mercenary.
Extremely mercenary. Yeah, there's a whole story with that. But I really enjoyed lipstick for a while.
That's awesome.
I really did.
Do you have pictures of you with lipstick?
Oh, probably somewhere. I don't know.
I feel like we've had this conversation on the podcast before.
Maybe.
It has been 2 years, so, Actually, I think last 2 weeks ago was our 50th episode.
Yes, it was our 50th. That is huge.
That is huge.
So the vast majority of podcasts, I'm just going to throw this out there, that begin never make it to 50. So 50 is a demarcation of some kind of success, some kind of longevity. And we have you guys to thank for that, because you keep watching us, so we keep doing it.
Well, at least we think you keep watching us. So,
some of you keep watching us.
I remember being, I don't know, somewhere traveling and talking to somebody, and this woman was like, my husband and I did a podcast during COVID, and it's like, oh, really? Where can I find it? She's like, well, we did 3 episodes. Right. So because it's a commitment. It's definitely a commitment.
It's a commitment.
Yeah.
There's a whole learning curve, but we said from the beginning, this is something we would do anyway.
Yes.
We were doing this anyway. We were sitting out on Friday afternoons and talking and having great conversations, and often we had other people with us, and people were telling us, this is really interesting, like you should share this with other people. In my mind, they were telling us that anyway.
Yeah, they were more like, go share it with somebody else. Right. But it is, I think it's worked for us, and I also think we're still having fun and learning, as the 2 weeks ago episode will show, that next time we do a group thing, we'll have more microphones.
Oh boy.
But you know what, we're learning, and one of the things I'm going to do a new video editing, and then give it to you to do. But Roxanne has learned
video
so much.
editing?
Yeah. iMovie.
Oh, I need to learn that. Yeah.
Because there's some really cool stuff you can do, right? And I think it's been a really good learning process. Also a lesson for me in vulnerability. Because sometimes we say stuff, right, that we share, and it's not necessarily what we would necessarily share publicly, but you kind of, we're in a community and somebody might benefit from it.
It occurred to me the other day, there's a record of stupid things I've said out there. And I thought, is this good? I don't know. I don't know about this anymore.
Well, that's funny, because I had
scared me a little bit.
I had lunch with my sister and my grandnephew, Dax, who's more like my nephew, just saying, and he's really good at media stuff. Like he's into music, and he writes songs, and he does all this really cool stuff, and and I was going to get him to go in and pull clips he thought were funny.
Oh,
right. So I'm going to say go find Roxanne saying all the things, right? But it was really interesting, because he did these things. They were kind of like takeoffs of Dexter. And he did these things, and he put funny things through it. And he was on YouTube, and there's some section of YouTube where you can actually make money from it. And then he did it, except you can't use something like Dexter. So he had, within 2 weeks, he had made $10,000. But then they took it away because Dexter, you can't use Dexter, right? So they didn't pay him out.
Okay, we have to find out how to do that.
I know, we do have to. That's why I was like, Dax, come on over, man. Come join the podcast.
Come on.
Yep. But yes, nope, absolutely. Okay, I have another one to talk about.
Good.
Okay. for me, during this time between work and worrying about the future when it comes to like finances, because you can't even look at what any kind of investments right now because they go up and down like insanely, and then all of the stuff. And I was thinking about hope, and I was thinking about how you find hope in tougher times, right? And to be fair, I don't think our times are a pain in the ass right now in the context of our world, but they are not tough like others who are worrying about. So this is definitely a very privileged view of what hope is. But one of the things I saw online was you have to redefine hope as flexibility. It's flexible and gritty, and hope has to be gritty because it's not like it. Even in the Hallmark, is it Hallmark movies? Yes, like tough stuff has to happen. Like even when it's the very sort of stereotypical girl meets boy
happy ending stuff,
right? Yeah. Like they have to go through crap to get there, right? Otherwise, it's boring.
Yeah, and there has to be conflict. You have to earn. There has to be something at stake.
Yeah.
Something to overcome.
Yeah, and
before you get to.
And it's not like
the reward.
Oh, look, there's a storm off in the horizon. It's like, holy hell, I'm in a hurricane.
No, if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't. Then there's no meaning to it.
Then you don't need hope.
Yeah, you don't.
It doesn't matter. It's like meh.
Yeah.
But so I still don't understand how you put yourself in that. Like you create worlds where you have to find hope. Right, I'm having a hard enough freaking time just managing my own world.
I like fictional worlds. I quite enjoy them.
You're God.
Yeah,
I can move you here.
I can put you here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah. I like. There's some control there. I'm feeling that yen to get back into a new book. I know. Even though every time after I'm done one, I'm like, never again. It was the worst experience of my life.
Also, you don't just say that after you're done. You say it in the middle.
I do. I say it throughout. I'm like, why did I not become a chiropractor?
Yep, exactly.
It's just
awful. But that's part of the tortured artist process, right? It's like, because you are building worlds. Like I see, I have a fair amount of people in my world, and some through you who are fiction writers, right? Who tell fictional stories, and then I have journalists in my world, and then I have the corporate writers who somewhere fall between fiction and stuff. But it's funny because in each of them there is this drive to tell the story, and yet every freaking time you tell the story, even if it is just a corporate internal thing, there's something in it that scratches you. Right? Like whether it could have been different, or look at how long it took, or like, but there's something wrong with us storytellers is kind of what I'm getting at. It's like we always want to put ourselves in a situation of great hope, but also the potential of great disappointment.
Well, that's the thing. You don't need great hope unless there is massive something at stake.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, I think that's what it is we all are aware of the fragility of life, the fragility of the things that we care about deeply. And we know that anything, name it, can be taken away from us at any time.
Especially when you have an old dog.
Oh God. Yeah. That's a hard time.
Yeah.
So when you're living in that, the idea of manipulating scenarios, scenes,
the world
you've created, so that somebody faces it, goes through it, not you, somebody else.
But it feels like, doesn't it feel when you're, but it's a bit different because I deal with corporate and that kind, like, and if I write feature, it's like a travel piece, right? Like, and there's no real protagonist, kind of, but for you, it's like you kind of must feel that you're going through it because you're creating it. Like
I have learned over my very first book, I wrote so little conflict because I'm extremely conflict averse as myself.
Right.
Everything's fine. I don't care. I don't need anything. I have no problem. Everything's good. And then I go home and cry in the shower because everybody. Right. But I do not. I really don't like conflict. But So my very first book had like almost the worst thing that happened. Her dog got sick. Her dog didn't even die. Her dog got sick.
You're not supposed to kill the dog, Roxanne.
Well, I learned that. I learned that in a big hurry. But it was like I couldn't give my characters conflict because it was just
it's hard.
It was like Mercury when you're you break a thermometer and it's like repelling itself when it's like conflict. Ugh. And my stories were flat because of it, right? So I had to lean into that. Oh, what's the worst thing? What's the worst thing this person could experience right now? What's the worst thing they could feel? What's the worst thing they could think? What's the worst thing I can imagine? Because it's all coming from me, right? I can imagine them experiencing right now. And it doesn't mean that I've experienced that or anything, but I had to lean into that. And I think maybe that's why the process is so hard for me. Because
I can see
that. I'm facing these things that I
never
want to face this myself.
And you did it to yourself.
But I'll give it to someone else.
Right, but yet you do face them because you've got to like as a reader, I feel the things.
Yeah.
So you as a writer must have felt the things.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and then I have to manufacture like how do they overcome this? What's the thing I want them to learn? If it were me, what would I hope to learn from that? Right. And so I mean, I love my characters because they're brilliant,
and
wonderful
gritty.
people and gritty because they do learn stuff and they do come out on the other. If it were me in that situation, it'd be like,
that's not true.
I've
seen her in situations.
And yet I can give these people, the basic skills that they need, and then something they have to learn, and they learn it, and they overcome it, and they come out better on the other side.
Also, in having witnessed your process, you give them the skills.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good, but it's always interesting. But you give them the skills, and I've had times with you when you're walking, and it's just like, yeah, they did this, right? Because you've given. It's like I would imagine it's like teaching a child the values in life, and then seeing them live those values, right? Because and you can tell when somebody's not listened to how the character has developed. Like there's sometimes you read a book and it's like that character wouldn't do that,
right?
And you almost feel like, wow, the writer didn't listen to that character, right?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But when you just said that, I find you said it about you put them in these situations and you have to imagine how bad could it be. When I do issues and crisis, that's exactly what I do.
That's what you do.
Right?
That's exactly right.
I think of the worst case scenario, and I figure out a way to work them out of it. So that's it. Like when you just said that, I was like, holy hell.
That's exact. There's so many similarities in what we do. Like there's so many, and because it's all spinning a story.
Yep.
It's all spinning a story because that's what life is a narrative, and we make sense of the thing that's happening to us.
Yeah. No, but that is interesting. But I do think I find it because, it's my job is to figure out the narrative of what could happen and make sure it doesn't happen. Whereas your job is to dive into it.
What's the worst that can happen? It's gonna happen.
Don't get her to write your life. Well, you could get her to write your life story, but but it is an interesting thing, and I also think when it gives you empathy. Right, I think you have to have empathy to write.
I think you do.
But the other side of that, I also think it gives you empathy because there are twists and turns that happen when you're writing that you kind of didn't see coming.
That's true. That's generally the part where I'm like, what the hell do I do with this? I didn't see that coming, even though I've created it all. But if it's organic and if it's natural, if it makes sense, there are things that happen that it is the way things could have happened.
Yeah, like it feels. That's just it. It feels authentic. It feels genuine, right? It's like one of those because you can tell in a book where, where the author veered off a bit, either to make it more commercially palatable, or maybe there's just a hole they couldn't dig their way out of. But it's one of those. And I mean, when you go into a movie or into a book, you want to suspend belief, right? Disbelief. Yes. And I just started another one by the woman that did The Perfect Couple.
Oh,
right?
Ellen Hildebrand.
Yeah, but it's got a ghost in it, which is really interesting.
What's this one called?
Hampton Hotel.
Ooh.
Right, and so, but it's interesting because I like ghosts. But if
I
if
do
you
too.
put, so there was one, I was reading one by a different author who I really like, and she had like the Fae in it, and except the Fae,
Oh.
which would be really interesting, except right away they came out with like the King of the Fae or the Prince of the Fae, and he
Okay.
created all these. He magically conjured up these gifts in the first freaking chapter.
Okay.
For a Christmas party, he just realized he was going to, and it was like, I'm out, because it didn't give me time to care about the character before they showed me that side.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Whereas this
yeah.
one is like, I'm 2 or 3 chapters in, and all of a sudden this woman is taking over general management of the renovation of this old hotel in the Hamptons, and there's a ghost in there. And the reason there's a ghost in there is because, there's a history. She died in the hotel, and she wants him to know it was murder, right? So you get the ghost perspective, and then you get this woman who's trying her hardest to make this a success, right? It's really, it's really
Ooh.
interesting.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I really like her writing.
Yeah,
I like
no,
her
she's
stories a lot.
great, and the perfect couple is just another reason why there shouldn't be billionaires.
Oh, it's really, that one's really interesting because I read the book and then I watched the series,
Right.
and you watched the series.
Yeah, and I'm going to read the book.
Yeah, you should read the book.
Yeah.
But the whole you can tell that they needed to make it more commercial, just as
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah,
With the series, because they had to change the ultimate the big thing that everything
Right.
hinges on. They
Right.
had to change that.
yeah,
I really liked it in the book. I thought it was an absolutely sufficient, completely. Everything made sense. Everything, all the stakes and the motivation, everything made sense. But it wasn't as visual
right.
as they needed it to be.
Yeah,
So they changed it.
yeah.
But
But I was fascinated by the series. Like I watched it all in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in one day? Oh man. That was
I get up early.
You do, yeah. It's probably a week for us, but we yeah, every now and then I hear from, because like Ray and I watch them together,
Yeah.
right? And I get really annoyed if he watches a series without me, unless it's something I don't care about,
Right.
and it's but if it's a thing that we're doing together, it's like, you can't get ahead of me. You can't get an episode ahead of me, because we're doing, this is our
Yeah.
thing, right?
Right.
So yeah, so
See, I do things while I'm watching, right? And sometimes I have to play an episode over again.
yeah,
Right, because I was doing something and it was like, what, and you go back. So Paul would never be able to manage that, because I
Oh.
can't just sit and just sitting and watching something, I'll be asleep. Like, I don't have that in me.
Oh man,
I need to multitask.
that's the only way that I watch TV.
But like, I like to either make jewelry or I cook, or the other day I was cleaning out drawers and I had to put all the cords for computers and everything together and figure out what they were for. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's fun.
I can do that with some, like with I can only do that with shows I've watched already.
Yeah.
Right? And I do like to have something on in the background if I'm cooking, or
Yeah.
God help me,
But
cleaning.
it's something you've already seen.
Then it's it's Friends, or it's The Office, or it's
Yeah.
Parks and Rec or something, or
Yeah.
not
Uh-oh.
Parks and Rec.
We should wrap up because,
Yeah.
pizza.
Pizza. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what we're grateful for.
Well, I'm going to say, because I get to go first, I'm grateful for you.
Uh-oh. Why? What did I do?
Because you are honest and open and vulnerable, and that is a rare thing in a friend. So
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe I should cry.
you can cry later.
Okay, I'll cry later.
What are you grateful for?
Well, now I'm going to seem really freaking superficial.
Yes, do it,
Yes.
because this is how it always works for me. I'm like, I'm grateful for pizza. I'm grateful for spaghetti.
I'm grateful that I fit into a pair of
is
size
huge.
6 jeans, man.
This is huge.
But
This is a big deal.
But yes.
So,
Okay.
and I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
And now we're going to order pizza and
Pretzels.
pretzels. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll
Okay,
we'll sign
so-
off for now. So you guys.
Okay, what?
What do we want more of, Ruth?
Happy hours. What do we want less of, Roxanne?
Bullshit.
Yep.
And on that note, we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
Thank you for being here, as always.